Of folks. This is what has been happening since that protest began early this morning. It was centered about a block and a half away at Gloria Molina Grand Park. Excuse me, thank you. At Gloria Molina Grand Park. And that is where folks were, gathering here. This was seniors, families, people with their children, different age groups coming together to talk about their opposition to the Trump administration, not only with the immigration rates, but also with the fact that they're bringing in the National Guard and the U.S. Marines. Then from there, people started walking around different blocks of this area here around City Hall. I would say about 2 blocks down and 2 blocks around from each individual side. Now they've gathered here where you see here on Spring. We're on Spring and Temple. And they've been gathering, chanting, and being relatively peaceful. You're not seeing anyone getting in anyone's faces. You have a lot of cars here beeping and honking as they go by. People still continuing to voice their opinions here as we speak. Again, we have seen also people coming through here with waters and food and offering everyone, including us, the media, the chance to be able to have a drink. It has been very hot today. According to the city fire department, crowds here exceeded 20,000 people. So the ability, they say, of first responders to reach individuals that are impacted at all, maybe from any heat exhaustion or the like, has become tougher. So they're saying if anyone can move themselves from this area, if they're feeling that way, then that is the thing to do. But again, we are just down the street from where people are gathering, and this is kind of happening in different corners around City Hall. It is peaceful. It has been moving. It is part of that protest from earlier on today that's kind of been seeping through the city of Los Angeles here in the downtown area. Again, relatively peaceful as we've seen people of all ages gather here together in their protest on this No Kings protest march. So we'll continue to follow it from here in Los Angeles, sending it back to you in the studio, Lynette.
Hey, what's up, family? Hey, how you guys doing? Hey, No Kings protest. Hey, but I don't see any violence going on. I don't see any windows getting busted. I think we at the point now, I think, where people got a point to be made. And from what I can see, this is going on all around the country. So millions of people are doing this. It's so funny. I actually seen people in my city, and I live in a little suburb, and they was actually lined up across the street and stuff, and they had their water out there, and actually the fire department was out there, and they was doing their thing. I was like, okay, all right, see my cheers, yeah, and I was like, okay, but yeah, so what's up, family? Hey, go ahead and hit that like button. Hey, wipe your feet before you come in. Thank you for joining this episode today. Hey, how you guys doing, man? No Kings protest. Hey, what you feel about this, man? Hit that comment box. Let me know what you're thinking. Man. I'm just sitting back watching now, family, because there's just so much been going on this last week, man. I'm just sitting back watching right now and seeing, hey, I'm just sitting back watching. But tell me what you guys think. Like in LA, this is going on everywhere. Like I mentioned, it's going on here in Arizona and other parts of the country. So it's millions of people doing this. Right there, it's 20,000 people right there estimated. So yeah, everybody's in. A lot of people are in on this, and hey, they want to be heard. And we the people, and people have the right to be heard. So just like you have the right to be heard, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think, man. And I'm gonna get right back to this and finish seeing what they got to say about this. Hey, No Kings protest. No Kings protest.
Lolita, talk to us about the police presence that you're seeing there, and also the fact that they're trying to make sure they're very visible but not instigating any sort of confrontations.
Yes, absolutely. So they are definitely been doing what they have been doing over the last week and a half, which is protecting some of the monuments here, if you will, some of the buildings like City Hall. They are posted up there, and I say posted up because they're just standing. They're not really doing anything necessarily aggressive. But let's look down the street again. You can see as like the cars are here and the people are gathering there, the police presence isn't necessarily on the ground. It's not like you're seeing police officers walking around and or any of the police vehicles there, but they are definitely keeping watch in strategic areas around. So they are visible. They're keeping themselves away from the thing. And it's what Chief Jim McDonald said this morning. If you protest peacefully, we won't get involved. We want you to be lawful and protest as you can through the area. We'll give you that ability and that right to do so. And so that's what's been happening here. We have not seen any scuffles, anyone get together, not even amongst each other, but even with law enforcement of any kind. So like I said, it's been mostly just folks walking around. It is a lot of folks, so it is kind of chaotic in the way that it is when you're in the middle of a crowd, like at a big concert or anything of that nature. But right now, relatively peaceful as we speak.
Lolita Lopez reporting for us from downtown Los Angeles. Lolita, we appreciate that. And NBC4's Brittany Hope is also live in downtown LA. Now she's at the federal building. Brittany, talk to us about the scene there.
So what I think the biggest things that the law enforcement is law enforcement and the military is just trying to make sure no buildings get damaged. No federal buildings, no state buildings, courthouses and stuff like that. And they are allowing them to go ahead and protest and do their stuff that they want to do. And that's good. It has to be done. And man, what are you guys doing? Are you guys focusing on you, or are you guys focusing on a lot of this stuff? This is good to keep up with, but make sure you guys focus on you. Hey, and hit that like button too. And leave me a comment. Let's finish this. Let's see what else they're talking about.
Talking to you throughout the day. Have you seen anything change so far?
Yes, so at 1 o'clock when we were with you, protesters weren't in the street. We're at the corner of Aliso and Los Angeles. So Los Angeles is right here. The 101 is right behind us. At this point, though, protesters have now made their way onto the street. They're walking. They're also in cars. Look at this. We have a line of at least, it looks like 7 vehicles who are here blocking this intersection, waving flags. Some are playing music. At this point, though, and I really want to mirror exactly what Lolita said, everything has been peaceful. Yes, streets are being blocked, but so far we haven't seen any sort of altercation with law enforcement. Over my left shoulder here, blocking Aliso, there is a long line of CHP officers. Protests have been facing those officers all afternoon at this point. I'd say this group has been here for about 2 hours, and they've been trying to communicate with CHP, but so far we haven't seen a lot of conversation. We haven't seen any sort of altercation, which is certainly the way that law enforcement this morning, that the city said this morning they were hoping for. We're going to wrap around this way, though, so we can show you. So just behind me here, this is the Los Angeles Mall. Back there is City Hall, where Lolita was a few blocks ago. Where we're walking now, this is the federal building. So if you'll remember last weekend, at nighttime, when things started to get vandalized, this was a big focus of that. So at this point, of course, the federal building is closed, but there's a lot of protesters who are around it. So we'll kind of stop here just because once we get too far that way, I won't be able to hear you at all. And we are hearing some music that we want to kind of steer clear from. But blocking the building there are the U.S. Marines. There's a long line of them. They're thickly packed there. That's why you see a lot of people gathered in the streets right there in front. We heard a lot of people saying to the Marines, "We don't want you here. Go home. Is this what you enlisted for?" A lot of different messaging going toward the Marines. But again, it doesn't seem that there's been any sort of interaction between the protesters and the Marines. At this point, everything remaining peaceful. The traffic, though, and we've seen a few cars get stuck in this, so if you are someone who needs to get into downtown today, definitely stay away, especially around the Civic Center, from City Hall to the Federal Building, the LA Mall, because there are people for these few city blocks on both sides. Some people even kind of standing on top of the LA Mall over there just to get a better view. You know, what's been interesting, though, about this protest is we've seen so many families who are out here, and everyone that we've talked to has said they want.
Yeah, and you know, on that note, you know, the families and stuff. So when you say families, you're just not talking about adults. I see it's kids out there too, and you know, I just pray that everything just goes smooth. People protest and then they go home, especially get those young ones out of there. We don't need anyone getting traumatized. We don't need none of that, because you know, believe it or not, they're ready to go. You know, they're ready to go. If it goes down, they're ready to go right now. And I'm talking about law enforcement. I'm talking about military. You got the Marines there. I don't know what the Marines are doing there. Like those guys are. I told you guys before on other stories I've done. Those guys don't play. That's not a situation for them. You already know they locked and ready to go. But you know, the National Guard is not as bad, but the Marines. But you know, I'm glad everything's going peaceful. And like I said, no Kings protests across the country, millions of people. And they're doing this everywhere across the country, even in my little city that I'm in right now. I've seen some out there. But hey, man, this is it, man. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for watching. Hey, man, hit that like button, man. Every last night, which was Friday, I had a 4-hour live. Every Friday night, I'll have a 4-hour live. Well, I hope it lasts 4 hours. If it lasts 6 hours, but I'll have a live every Friday at 8 p.m. Arizona time. But I see you guys later. Hit that like button. Thank you for coming. Hey, like I always say, if it's one of y'all, thank you. If it's a million, thank y'all. There's a million other channels out here, and you decided to watch mine. I appreciate you, family. Become a